What about Pigpen? Where's he?
Oh, dude, that guy has like 7 wives. He's living in a trailer, 43 kids.
He's a
And
polygamist up in
yeah,
Utah.
well, not
Nice.
even how many parties? I'm going to say the over under is 3. How many parties have one of us been on fire at?
Oh yeah, he got his shoulder up and over the top, and he dropped the hammer down. Very impressive.
You're about to listen to Whiskey Hell Podcast, a show centered on recent news, excellent craft beer, and absolute debauchery. While the guys are getting ready, you can reach them on Twitter at whiskey_hell. You can also go to the whiskeyhellpod.com or email them at whiskeyhellpod@gmail.com. At the end, be sure to drop them a review as a thank you for the content. Looks like they're ready. Enjoy the show, and listener discretion is advised.
Saturday night, January 28th, 8:39 in the evening. This is Whiskey Hell Podcast, your news review for what the hell week is it? I don't even know anymore. It's like
the
week
last
of the 23rd, 24th.
Yeah, last full week of January. How about that?
There we go. The year of our Lord 2023. How you doing, Fitz?
I'm all right. I'm okay. You know, everything at this moment in time is okay. And I have to be thankful for that. I got a major reality check square in the face right before we came on air here, and I'll talk a little bit about it, not to go into any detail, but kind of just one of those moments where you have to really step back and be really, really thankful for the things you have, because it might not always be there. And so enjoy today, folks. Not that I'm trying to be ominous or anything. I'm just saying life can change on you. And so be thankful for the things you got, because I know I am right now. I'm very appreciative.
Well, I mean, I already knew this, but if there was ever any doubt after tonight's events, I appreciate your humanity. I can honestly say that. Yeah. And
thanks, man. You know, like I said, well, okay, so here's the situation. I was sitting down, we were getting ready to start the show, and I heard a person wailing, crying, a woman. And I'm like, is anyone else hearing this? Like, am I hallucinating here? So I turned off my my music, and sure enough, I hear a woman wailing outside. So I go outside. It's cold. It's cold here. It's raining. We got a really bad storm moving in later tonight. Possible snow and ice, just nasty. So I went out there to see who's out there wailing, and lo and behold, there's somebody in my neighbor's tree. There's a really low hanging tree, and she's tucked away back in the corner, in the bushes in the tree. And so I went and got my wife, and we long story short, got her out of the bush, got all of her stuff collected and put into backpacks and bags and stuff for her so she could carry it. She got abandoned. She got stranded. She got dropped off at a church to get a bunch of warm clothes for the storm tonight. And then the person never came back to pick her up. And so she had no idea how to get back to her tent, she called it a tarp, her little camp that she had. And so we got her all cleaned up and all the leaves off of her hair, and gave her some cans of soup and a couple of blankets, and dropped her off at her little tarp. And honestly, dude, I may go back and check on her tomorrow, because fuck. Anyway, she's just kind of telling us her story as we're driving her, and she's from Seattle. She used to have a house and a husband and 2 kids. The kids left for college, and then their life just kind of spiraled after that. They just lost it all. And then he left her. And so she's been wandering the streets since. So then we found her. So Tammy, I know you're not listening to the show, but her name is Tammy. She's a real person, and she's out there cold tonight. Yeah, might go check on her tomorrow. So anyway, be thankful for the things you have, because they might not always be there.
I'll drink to that.
Amen. First toast to Tammy.
Well, that is a very heartfelt start to the show. Way better than the venom that I was going to start with. So I'm going to holster that.
All right. I mean, venom is welcome too.
Nah. No. I'm going to be better than that.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens after. We'll see what happens after a while.
After the beer.
Yeah, it's been a day. It's been a day.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, it has. You've had a day too, for sure.
Problems compared with others, obviously. So
yeah.
So we got a big show. We got a big show, and we're going to try and observe our 10-minute rule.
Oh, we are. Okay.
Yeah. Which, if we did that, we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 100. We'd have over 2 hours, and we have multiple stories per each of these topics.
Of those, right.
Okay. So it is a massive night tonight. We have a parody that broke the internet, it looks like. Yeah. We're getting rid of the singing in Davos. I don't give a fuck about the fucking elites tonight. We've got stocks that were halted. We've got some cool shit we have to get to. You had Ren, and I've got River Runner. I want to post that. Pelosi, it was Pelosi week. It's Pelosi week again. Actually, been Pelosi the last 2 days. We've got layoffs. We've got Gaslight of the week. Maybe that's when my rant will come in. Maybe that's when my rant will come in. I'm feeling that. Buzz Aldrin.
Yeah. He's still out there hitting people in the face. That's
right. Did Tammy have any classified documents?
No, she is certified classified document free. She's good to go. I did ask her. Okay. I asked about drug paraphernalia and do you have any classified documents on you? And it was a no for both. So green light. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're good there. All right. Yep. But that's what we got going on tonight. It's been a hell of a week. So
yeah, dude, that's what I was going to say earlier. This week, literally, like we finished the show Friday night, last Friday night. It felt like Saturday morning we woke up to about 3 or 4 things we wanted to talk about on the show. And it just kept coming all week. Every day was filled with something.
We had a full doc by Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. It's just crazy week, man.
We went back and we looked at it again yesterday, and we had another 7 stories that it could have been a full 2 shows. In fact, Hefe even brought up the idea of on weeks like that where we would do 2 shows, but I don't think you ever think that the week is going to be as heavy as this. I'm not against that idea at all, but I don't think we would have ever seen that this week would have gone the way it did. It was just fucking crazy.
No, and it just seemed like a random week in January, other than the fact that it was our very honorable host's birthday this week. So happy birthday, belated. That's my second toast of the evening. So cheers to you, my friend.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
So, but otherwise, a fairly, innocuous week. And then boom, the avalanche just started right away. It was crazy.
Yep.
So anyway.
Well, let's start our own avalanche, shall we?
Yeah, let's. the McShane and Fitz avalanche. There you go. I don't know. Okay.
What are you drinking?
I found something that's it's a one-off. It's a weird thing. I'll probably never be able to find it again. So of course I had to buy it. Right. I mean, you find something like this and you go, okay, I'm in. Plus it appealed to my my Asian sensibilities, my love for the Asian culture and all things Asian. This beer is called Black Daruma. It is, I'm not even sure who the brewer is, to be very honest, because, and I shit you not, on the can here, there's a little blurb about the beer, but above that, it says Japanese Brazilian women brewers, and it has a Japanese flag and a Brazilian flag.
Okay.
Okay. I've never heard of such a thing. I am all about it, because if there are two, more like deserving groups on the planet who deserve to be brewers, it's Japanese and Brazilian women. And I'm not just saying that because they're two of the most gorgeous peoples on the planet. I'm saying that because we need some more cultural diversity in the brewing world. So,
well, here they are. I've found their site.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
They are. So those two races. Are we even allowed to say that anymore? But those two peoples really make quite a pretty combo. I'm sure if they were men, they would be also gorgeous. But wow.
Oh,
yeah.
they're
Okay.
stunning. But how's their beer? Now we got to know that.
Okay. So first of all, the name behind Black Daruma. So a Daruma is a doll. It's a Japanese doll. And it's named after kind of the temple where they were sort of invented or became popular, the Daruma Temple. It's a little doll, and you may have seen them before, but they're usually either purchased at a Buddhist temple, or they're given as a gift during the holidays. Not our holidays like Christmas, but just during New Year's celebrations or birthdays, during some sort of important day of the year, they're given as a gift. And what's cool about the Daruma doll, they're typically red, but this one is obviously named after the beer, Black Daruma. The Black Daruma stands for prosperity and good luck. And what's cool about the doll is when you get it, the eyes are not painted in. And so what you do is if you're given this doll or you purchase one, you paint in the left eye, and you put your intent while you're painting the eye. You put your intent into whatever you want this doll to do for you. I'm going to get a brand new job this year, or the love of my life. I'm going to ask her to marry me. Whatever your intent is, you put it into this. And then when the task is completed is when you paint the right eye. So a lot of Japanese will have this one-eyed Daruma doll in their house, in their car, kind of dangling off their backpacks. In fact, Pokemon and things like that they're kind of designed after the Daruma doll. I mean, that's where those concepts come from. So anyway, like Pikachu is kind of what a Daruma doll almost looks like. Anyway, so this is the Black Daruma, which is kind of unusual. Most of them are red, but this one's black. And it's a Russian Imperial Stout. So these ladies are they're doing real beer.
Won you over. They're
exactly,
hot, and they're already brewing your beer.
Exactly there. So how could I mean, literally, I picked this thing up and it was in my hand. I'm like, I don't care if this thing's $50. I'm buying it. It wasn't. It was only I think it was $8. So it was very moderately priced. And you can see by the can there, all their cans are just works of art. They're beautiful. This one is no exception. It is just gorgeous. So anyway, on to the beer. That's enough about the Black Daruma. Oh, the really cool thing, last thing about the Daruma doll is at the end of the year, if you have completed your task and both the eyes are painted in, then you will either hand it back to the person who gave it to you, or you take it back to the temple where you bought the Daruma, and then they take everybody's Darumas and put them in a big pile. And this is usually at New Year's, and they burn them because it's like, all right, that task is complete. We release it into the universe, into the ether, and then you get a new doll and you start over. You have a new task. So I just thought that was a cool little tidbit at the end. So I'm not going to be burning this beer. I already took a sip when I did my cheers for you, so I already know I like it. But let's do an actual live action here.
All right.
All right. Well, I think probably all of our listeners by now know what I love about beers, which is they have to be a beer first. And this is just a straight up middle finger to the fucking Lord stout. Like, this is just everything that you like about stouts is in this beer. It's also everything that you hate about stouts. It'll make you kind of, not pucker, but just take a step back. Like, whoa, the stout flavors are very, very strong. Almost burnt. We got an almost burnt flavor in there. There's some vanilla notes at the end, some coffee notes, but mostly just that heavy, burnt barley, almost burnt oat flavor that I'm getting. But it's go ahead.
Is it dry or no?
Very dry. No, very dry.
Okay.
I would almost say this was a porter. If you hadn't told me it was a stout, I would almost guess it as a porter. The other thing is it's 11%, and I don't taste any booze on it at all.
Wow.
It is. Okay. It is just it no heat at all. Just straight up a great stout. And I'll tell you what, I poured this thing a while ago. There's still a healthy head on it.
Nice.
Which is impressive. Yeah, exactly. These girls know how to do head, which is just so sexy. Anyway, so yeah, great. Well done to the Japanese Brazilian consortium. I am going to be seeking them out more. Because it's a great beer. Really.
It looks like they do distribute in Oregon. So you're probably going to be able to find other of their beers. Brazil, Massachusetts, Maine, Rhode Island, New York, and Oregon are the main areas that they actually distribute. So
excellent.
You're probably going to be able to find other of their products. And like you said, they've got quite an array. The site's nice. I'll just spell it out. en.japaservejaria.com, or go to our show notes and check it out and see.
Japa Cervejaria.
Yeah,
I think that's
it's probably cerveza, like cerveza,
Cervejaria. Yeah. Women brewers, Japan, Brazilian women brewers, I think is what that means if I had to guess. Anyway,
but yeah, very cool. That's a great find and one we've never had on the show. So nice work there.
Yeah, thanks. I'm very pleased. Very pleased. I feel like I earned this one tonight, just from a karma perspective. And man, karma came through for me. This is delicious. Very good beer. How about you? What are you downing over there?
I have a Helles lager. It is Tactical Maneuver, and I'm starting off light for the first one, and it is really light because the next one I have coming is going to be it's a wee heavy. I have one of 3 wee heavies that I have to decide how to bring this up. But we're starting off with this one because I had a Cerebral last night. It was actually it was an Irish. Was it an Irish stout? No, it was an oatmeal stout, and it was a fantastic oatmeal stout. Subtle, dark, malty. It was just a really, really rich, well done stout. Really nice. So I wanted to take a shot at this, and I had a hell of a time trying to figure out what beer I wanted to have tonight. And I went to 3 different places. The first 2, I wasn't happy with what I pulled out of there. One was from last night, and I just wanted to get some stuff because we went over to a friend's house to hang out. I didn't want any of those beers for the show. Then today I went to a place thinking I was going to get something awesome because it was like the alter ego of the other shop that I usually go to, and it sucked. I won't mention names. Then I went to my old standby, and I needed to change my attitude anyway at that point. We already talked about that off in pregame. So, so I went with Tactical Maneuver. Again, it is a Helles lager, a lighter beer. It's a very German beer, old school. And let's try it out.
Even the name Foder Fermenten Helles. You can't get any more German.
Yep. Yeah, this is a classic Helles lager. Subtle. You get it is hoppy. It is a little bit more I get a little more sweet hoppy flavor.
Okay.
But it ends quickly, and it's a easy drinker. So, yeah, I
almost like a session.
Yeah, it's 5.1. It's a little bit more floral. You get they even talk about some herbaceous floral characteristics of lemongrass and honeysuckle. I'm not getting the lemongrass and honeysuckle, but I'm definitely getting everything else as far as the lager goes. So it does the job. If I was drinking it just for, I mean, I would if I had an opportunity to get a cheap 6-pack of this, I would go to it.
Okay,
I would go to it on a hot day. That would work. So it's a good kickoff beer. It's not going to last long, I can tell you that, especially at night.
Yeah, right.
All right. Let's go ahead and bring in our sponsors. Let them have their way with us, and then we'll get into housekeeping and then some news. Sound good?
I could use a good tickle in the bum right now. So yeah, sounds
All
great.
right. One finger coming up. All right. So our housekeeping, getting back to it here, our housekeeping actually revolved around mainly a poll that we put out after Project Veritas decided to go ahead and bless us with some Pfizer action.
What a fucking train wreck, man. This thing was like the literal definition of a train wreck. Like, you can't stop watching it, but you don't want to watch it.
You don't want to watch it, but you cannot turn away from it once you start watching it. So if you go out, search directed evolution or go to Project Veritas site, you're going to get an eyeful and an earful. And I'm torn in how to actually address this because
Me too.
on one hand, yeah, it's Pfizer. We know they're terrible. They're awful demons. And it's not a surprise that they're doing these things. And really, there's a lot of places that have done these types of things.
Right.
And what we're talking about is basically taking a virus, COVID virus, and mutating it on purpose so that you can continue making different vaccines from it.
Yeah. I mean, basically, they're turning that into a moneymaker.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're probably going to earn a blue tag for this, but just kind of going back to the idea here is it looks like they actually caught a director of research who was trying to impress somebody on a date, talking about the research that they do at length and how they actually go about, the evil stuff they're doing. Go ahead.
No, okay, I'm gonna say straight up right off the bat, and I think I speak for McShane on this too. I feel bad for this guy, I really do, because at the end of the day, he is so fucked in every way possible. Not only is he going to lose his job, he put Pfizer in a bad spot. They probably could open him up for a lawsuit. I mean, he has to sign all kinds of NDAs and all kinds of stuff to even get the position he had. And then here he is out on a date, not knowing he's being filmed. And we've all said some dumb shit to get some tail. We all have. Don't pretend you haven't.
No, absolutely.
And here he is trying to get laid or at least get a second date. And maybe he's lying. Maybe he isn't. It didn't sound like a lie. That's so I feel bad for the guy, but you let the cat out of the bag, bro. It's out. And now we know, I really appreciate the guy who was, the date and was filming this poor man. And he was like, oh, that sounds like gain of function. He's like, oh, no, well, we can't talk about it like that. That would get us in trouble with the government. Right. What we call it is directed evolution. It's like, we're just playing with semantics here. But at the end of the day, this is evil. Steve mentioned the word demon. This is demon level shit here. This is not okay to be doing. You're playing with people's lives, and it's really terrible. So that's my 2 cents on it. I feel bad for the guy, but also fuck you, Pfizer. Fuck you.
Was this a honeypot?
I think it's the exact definition of a honeypot. It is. You're right.
And that's where I get hung up on this. And I think there's 2 ways to go about this. There's the reality showness of Project Veritas. That's their MO.
Yeah.
That's James O'Keefe. It's
Yep.
very sensational. It's very dramatic. He tries to play the straight guy, only the guy's filthy.
Oh, yeah.
Now, those are the tactics that he deploys. You cannot argue with the results that he got, though.
Right.
So it's like the worst form of journalism. No, it's not even the worst form. Geraldo Rivera is the worst form of journalism. James O'Keefe has to be in there someplace. Not quite that far, but I mean,
I wanted there to be something in Capone's safe. Okay. I wanted there to be something in there.
Well, we all did. And I mean, it's not quite, what the hell is it? The guy, who used to do the was it your baby's
Oh
daddy
yeah,
shows, the Maury
yeah,
Povich.
Maury Povich. Yeah.
It's not that level, so it's not that kind of crap. It's not. It's okay. Here's a question: which is worse, Project Veritas or The View?
Oh, The View, by far. And I'll tell you why. Because Veritas, his methods are despicable. He's a terrible, terrible person for doing this. But as you said, the results speak for themselves. I mean,
speak for themselves. Yeah.
There it is. And The View is just these people. I won't use anything disparaging. I want to, but I won't. But these people just spouting their opinions. They're very uneducated,
Yes.
very just almost ridiculously naive opinions, and people eat it up because they're saying what people want to hear. In fact, we are going to talk about one of the members of The View later in the show, for doing just that, for just being completely uneducated and completely biased and saying whatever she thinks people want to hear.
So getting into the homework piece, we went and put a poll up, per a conversation released in video by Project Veritas with Jordan Walker, one of Pfizer's directors of research. They are exploring mutating COVID so we can preemptively develop new vaccines. This is what happened in Wuhan. That was an honest depiction of what was
Absolutely
being said, I think, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
So the question was, does this concern you? 4 different options. Nope. A little. Yes. This is World War Z shit. Nope was 27.3%. A little, 4.5%. Yes, 28.8%. This is World War Z shit, 39.4%. So interesting poll.
Yeah, it's 66 votes. So it's not like, I mean, that's a pretty good sampling, especially for the polls we put up. This wasn't, 10 people. 66 people put their opinion out there. I still can't believe that, if I'm doing my numbers correct, 27.3%, that 20 people or so are not worried at all about this. Now, either they're punking us, which is that's definitely a possibility.
That's more than punking, I think. That's a solid 27.3%, I think.
Okay, so why are you not worried about these kinds of things? This is I don't know. I asked last time this came up, that something similar to this came up. This time I'm pleading somebody who said that they are not worried about this, or maybe you didn't answer our poll, but you're also still not worried that they're doing this research. Please explain to me why you aren't, because every single sci-fi novel, movie, comic book, it all starts with research like this in some secret lab so people can make money, and then it gets out of control and we're all dead. So why aren't you worried? I don't know. Anyway.
Hey, we got Hefe on the phone. Hefe, what did you think of this Pfizer business?
Yeah, I voted for the World War Z option because they're just playing with fire. It's gonna turn bad, like it already did. So I don't know. I guess it kind of makes sense what they say they're doing, but I don't. It's just gonna go bad. You just know it is.
All right,
it's almost like the stuff you don't want to hear about.
Yeah, right. I guess what I'm saying is I understand that even though all of us are out here going, no, please stop messing around with nature. Please stop doing directed evolution or whatever you want to call it, because it could end badly. I know there are scientists out there that have an ego that say, okay, the last time, yes, that ended badly, but not this time. I'm stopping it. It's going to go okay this time.
Yeah, it's scary stuff. It really, really is. So
I don't know.
Keep your eyes open. There was a Pfizer rebuttal that basically said, yeah, we're trying. I'm paraphrasing. They do everything by the book, and then they turned around and said, well, sometimes they actually go ahead and do do it that way. So
it's all within our legal purview to do this, so we're gonna do it. Basically, yeah. We're paraphrasing, but yeah, they're doing it.
So all that's in show notes. You guys can go and take a look at it. No secrets. You guys can more easily find it. You guys can also go to our show notes and look it up, or the Twitter feed because I posted it all over the place because it's important for people to actually look at. So
Yeah, and the worst part about it was the second film where they went and confronted this guy and said,
he
"Hey,
freaks out.
you're on camera." Yeah, and it was just, yes, he physically assaulted them. They physically assaulted him back. But they cornered him. The poor guy was cornered. Why do you do that? Jesus Christ. I mean, he had nowhere to go. I would have done way more than he did, to be honest. I mean, I would have fucked some people up, and that camera, no way it would have seen the light of day again.
Yeah, it was
So-
it was pretty screwed up on all levels.
Yeah.
How's your night going, Fefe?
It's going really slow.
Oh,
Are you
the
still getting a lot of the folks from the
We-
car show that's out in the valley there?
Yeah, we should be. I don't know. We really got hammered this week with them. I haven't seen any tonight, but they're got to
Well,
be here.
I think the and we'll just use the initials here because it's awesome to use initials like this. But the BJ car show is I think Friday and Saturday nights they have like after parties and stuff. So you might get a rush of really drunk, really spendy people at about midnight.
Yeah. Well, if one more person calls me Jeremy, I don't know what the fuck it is.
Oh shit.
Oh, like to the point where I'm like looking at my name tag, like, does it say Jeremy? No, it does not. But
It's an alternate
get
world.
yeah, it's crazy.
Well, when you drink enough, all the E's and the J's, and I mean, it just all gets jumbled, man. Come on, Jeremy, give them a break.
So it's a letter orgy.
Exactly.
Hey, speaking of orgies, I got a question for you guys. So you remember the cartoon Peanuts, the Snoopy?
Of course.
Yeah.
What do you think would have happened to Linus?
Like as he grew up?
Yeah. Like where if Linus was any place, if you fast forwarded 30 years, because Linus was the one that had to walk around with I think it was a blanket, right?
Oh, a whoopee. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Where is he now?
He's the CEO of a business somewhere.
Yeah. I was just gonna say he was Jack Dempsey from Twitter, like Revenge of the Nerds, man. Like you bullied me and I was scared of everybody back when I was a kid, but now I have the fucking power, so you're blacklisted. You're shadow banned. You don't get to say what you want to say. Goodbye.
What about Pigpen? Where's he?
Oh, dude, that guy has like 7 wives. He's living in a trailer, 43 kids.
He's a polygamist up in
Yeah,
Utah.
well,
Nice.
not even a polygamist. He just like Shonda knows full well that Rhonda and her husband are banging, and she doesn't care. She just wants the child support.
So he's the trailer park guy.
Yeah, he's trailer park. Yep.
I like
Yeah,
this.
and he pounds a 48 pack every night. He's got a big beer gut, and he still smells like shit.
Collecting that welfare check.
Yeah, he's got the state sponsored child welfare stuff. Yeah.
What about Lucy?
See, I really think, and maybe this is just the AVN awards talking, but I really think she got into porn.
I could see that kind of though.
Because she was mean spirited, so she was just a beast in bed. Like,
Well,
no, don't do it that way. Turn me around, pull my hair, call me an idiot, like whatever she's into. And then someone was like, you need to put this on film because it's really hot. And then she did, and bam.
I think she turned into a Karen.
Oh,
I think
Big Karen.
I think she was the closet lesbian.
Like softball lesbian or?
Yeah, I mean
Oh,
Peppermint
I
Patty.
shouldn't have said that. Should I have?
Yeah, it's all good.
Shouldn't have said that. I apologize to anybody I might have insulted just now.
it's a category.
Well, we
category.
we had California lesbians early in the week.
We did.
So,
We did.
Well, Peppermint Patty definitely was. I just think Lucy was like, closet lesbian.
what was the one they kept calling people sir? She was
that was-
submissive. and she's wearing cat ears now. I'm sure. I'm positive I'm not going to get any porn back when I say it. Oh no,
Dude,
Marcy.
Yeah. So
she was the studious girl. She might have actually.
Yeah.
She might have gone into like, I don't know, like science. Maybe she's like she's got a doctorate, and she's just submissive on the side because she likes the sir thing.
yeah, I mean, I'm totally with you on Peppermint Patty for sure. But Lucy, you guys know what her last name was? She's Lucy Van Pelt. If that's not a porn name, like she was born to be a porn star. Van Pelt. Think about that.
Shout out to Buzz Aldrin, who's 93
Badass.
this week. Absolute badass. I don't know how old his wife is. Dr. Anka Fauer.
Yeah, I couldn't find.
Fauer, yeah. Fauer.
He's looking good for 93.
She's looking
Parody.
good for whatever age she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the same week he actually kicked somebody's ass who, let's see here. We had an asshole who was, was it a flat earther or was it a space denier?
It was the moon denier, right?
Yeah, moon denier.
Denier,
I think they're all kind of the same at this point, aren't they?
Probably.
I don't know, man. I seen. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. I wasn't going to play it.
No, I was just
trying
going to say I definitely have seen a lot of videos of, quote unquote astronauts in front of green screens with people in green suits making Cheetos float by. And I'm not saying that that's like what we think weightlessness is, and they're just filming it and they do a really good job filming it. But I'm saying they have done some videos like that. I mean, it's out there. So
I'm sure by today's standards, yes, you could do it. I'm not buying it back when Buzz was flying around the earth. So
I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore about anything. So I want to believe that we went to the moon. That's all I'm going to say. If that's Santa Claus in me, I want to believe in Santa Claus. Fine, but plus you can't deny that Buzz Aldrin at 93, that's a solid right hook, dude.
Oh yeah. He got his shoulder up and over the top, and he dropped the hammer down. Very impressive.
Yeah. So no matter what, the dude's a badass, like legit. Is it weird, but I kind of want to fight him now.
Okay. We need to do a segment just on old people we want to fight.
I think take Buzz. I'll take the other guy.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Buzz, that's a solid right. Bam. And I love whoever looped this is like, it's perfect. Just captures it like 6 times in a row.
All right. Whoopi Goldberg continues to be dumb. Should we go ahead and play Whoopi?
Why not? Let's let her bask in all of her idiocy.
Presidents and vice presidents can declassify these, not with their brains. There is something that you go through before it's declassified. But this order it was expanded right after that George Bush put it into place, because George Bush made it so presidents could declassify. Obama stretched it to make it vice presidents. So I wish they would say all that while they're explaining what's going on, because if you say, a classified document, everybody goes, oh my God, how dare he keep that? And if these guys can declassify, presidents and vice presidents can declassify, are we chasing our tail with some of this?
Well, but that's a very good point, but I think it has to be true for Trump and for Biden. So if for President Biden to be able to declassify something, there has to be evidence he did in fact declassify it, which is the thing that Trump's trying to argue. I declassified it. Right, well, there's no evidence.
He did it with his head. He didn't go through the process.
See, and this
is
nobody is saying they've declassified these documents. They're documents that they're finding at their homes, in their offices, by their Corvettes. Nobody's saying they've been declassified. This is her argument. This is where she's going with it.
It gets better. Continue to play it, but I just want to say, and again, we are no fans of Trump, but Trump's at least were in a fucking safe at Mar-a-Lago. Biden's were found in his office, strewn about next to his fucking Corvette. Yeah, one was in a closet. Come on, dude. Anyway, keep playing it because this is where it gets really good. Whoopi really shines here.
He did with his mind.
But is Biden saying he even?
I don't think Biden's saying that yet. And I think what I'm frustrated by is how kind of brazen and dismissive President Biden has been of this. Because he said it went from, anyone could be irresponsible, but I have no regrets. There's no there to, but it was locked up next to my Corvette. I mean, this, as you said, is a very serious matter.
They didn't play the part where Whoopi is like, it's just different. She says it's just different between Biden and Trump. And she said, I can't.
That was Joy Behar. That was Joy Behar. Yeah, when this first came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was that was a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago, I think now. That was Joy Behar. It's just different. We should give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, and she's like, I can't put it into words, but it's just different. No, the only difference is Democrat versus Republican. That's literally the only difference. You hate Trump, you love Biden, and you're sucking on his balls. And that's the only difference. There's no difference in what the two of those idiots did. And they're both idiots. I'm not defending either one of them.
I appreciate the argument, at least that Alyssa Farah had for, it's just frustrating that people watch that shit. And I mean, I guess it's frustrating that we actually watch that shit, but it popped up and,
yeah, we don't watch it. It popped up on our feed, so we had to pay attention to it, but we don't watch it.
But that did lead to, I think there was an act that was put in. No, that was an act that was dealing with Schiff. We'll get to that later. I think that was, Gatz's
the
pencil act.
That's there's been some brilliant stuff come up in the Senate lately. If you're paying attention, even if you're kind of half paying attention, there's been some brilliant. I mean, the Republicans are firing back, and they're doing it with, I guess I want to say humor or hubris. And it's actually really funny that the fucking stage, the sideshow that is the U.S. Senate right now it's a riot. It's amazing.
And we talked about some of it last week, and one of the points I guess maybe we didn't make was that they're really making them go through the journey.
Yeah.
We're going to make you shoot this down. We know it's not going to get through. We know it's never going to go into law, but we're going to make you actually vote on this and be embarrassed by it.
Yep.
Speaking of embarrassing, let's get to this. Did you know that there's a stroke season?
Flu season, about 3 or 4 weeks later, there is a stroke season.
There is actually a doctor. He calls himself a doctor. And I'm going to play the full link here. Let me.
Yeah, I was just going to say that was the TikTok, which is definitely worth watching because the guy who stitches on that TikTok was really funny because he's like about to say something and then he's like, I don't even know what the fuck to say to that. So yeah,
here he is. This is Dr. Raj Hardwar. I got some really bad names tonight.
Bardwaj.
Yeah, it's Indian, I think. So
yeah, it's definitely Indian.
I'm hacking it, but so
yeah.
Sorry.
We were both hacking it. Yeah.
I couldn't apologize because he's no longer he's locked his account.
Influenza, infection, and stroke.
Yeah, I didn't know about this either until last year, but it turns out that after season, about 3 or 4 weeks later, there is a stroke season. And like you said, most of Canada is getting down off of a big hump of flu. So now we're starting to see more strokes. And a friend of one of my colleagues actually mentioned that at work the other day. Said, have you noticed how many strokes we're seeing? It's a lot more than usual, it feels like. So anecdotally, we're starting to see that. The good news is that getting your flu shot reduces your risk of stroke, according to a study from the University of Calgary right here back in November.
Can we just pause right there? Okay, first of all, let's just take the premise that he's right, that this isn't fucking bullshit. All right, let's just say that he's right and that there is a quote unquote stroke season after the flu season. Okay.
Yep.
Then why is there an unusually high number of strokes right now? Shouldn't we be used to this? Every year we have the flu. Every year we have the flu. Shouldn't we also then, by his own statement, shouldn't we also then every year have a stroke season? But his colleagues said there's an unusual amount of strokes this year. Well, then what the fuck is the difference, dude? What's changed, man? What's different about this year? What's different about the last 3 years? This is so ridiculous, and people are going to buy this stuff. They're going to buy it. It's insane.
I can't believe that CBC Calgary actually put this on the news.
Wow.
And it's so, I don't know how this guy even has a
license to practice.
Yeah. He's like an urgent care doctor or something. I'm not knocking urgent care doctors, but this wasn't somebody from like the University of Calgary or John Hopkins or this is just awful.
Hey, so here's what I want to know, because he clearly, I'm such a dick. He clearly got paid, to say something to this.
Yeah,
yeah. Okay. So, but why didn't he spend the money on a new shirt? Like, that's the shirt he chose to wear on this interview. Please, I invite all of you to go out and see this clip and see the shirt he's wearing, because that's what he chose to wear for a national interview. Wow.
It was, I think he just got off maybe a cruise, just got in, maybe.
Just flew in from Hawaii. Yikes.
That was fantastic. I
remember when people
absolutely blown away by that.
Like, they knew they were going to be on the news, so they like actually got in a suit. Do you remember those days?
That was because of everything that happened during COVID. Everybody went on Zoom meetings and everything was cool. You can go ahead and be a little bit, you can relax a little bit. It's fine. Just go ahead and throw, a nice shirt on. Just throw something on.
That's fine, I guess, because I've definitely been guilty of being on a Zoom meeting where my top half, I was in a button up, and my bottom half, I'm in jeans and slippers. I've done it. Right. I've never gone without pants, but I've definitely just been, very casual from the waist down.
Right.
But this dude knew he was going to be giving this interview. He knew it was going to be in front of
authority.
Yes, it's in front of the nation. This isn't your coworkers. This is in front of the nation, and that's the shirt you chose. Wow.
Just unreal. Just fantastic. We're not the fashion police. That's not what we're targeting, but it's ridiculous. It's just adds on to him being ridiculous. So
Yep.
I actually wore my Whiskey Hell t-shirt all day while doing one-on-one meetings.
Nice. I mean, but again, that's your coworkers. These people know you. They know who you are as a person. Exactly. You're not trying to present an image, or you're not trying to be an authority. You're running your team. I'll tell you what I did is all day today, I wore my Whiskey Hell hoodie. This thing is, and we have not been pimping our stuff on the show. That's not who we are. It's not what we do, but we do have merch available. You can check it out. Some of it's really great. And this, I am just saying, this hoodie that I have is just so great for the weather we're having right now. It's been like a warm blanket all day. And then I look down and I see our Whiskey Hell emblem on there. It just makes me giggle. So anyway, go Whiskey Hell.
So whiskeyhellpod.com, click on merch, and you'll see all of our stuff on Spring. So go out there, take a look. We'd love you to support the show because it all goes back to us and we put it right back into the show.
Yeah, we haven't taken a dime, but the show really sounds a lot better now.
Yes, it does. Hey, before we go to our next beer, can we get into the Parody account that duped me?
Oh, dude, don't do that. It didn't just dupe you; it duped. So, you and I both have a network.
It was awesome.
We have a network of people that help us with the show. They'll send us stories, and every single person I know got duped by this one. I mean, we were all enraged earlier in the week because of this story, and then it turns out it was absolutely fucking false. It was satire.
Yeah. So there is an account, and it is Transcultural Mindfulness Alliance. And it even says, founded January 2023, exclusively by trans individuals promoting cultural changes to ensure the inclusivity of trans individuals. It's even written poorly. If you think it's a parody, it is. Okay, so it's just a total BS account.
Yep.
It's a bullshit account. This is somebody who's actually been on Twitter since 2009 and decided to go ahead and change his account to this. He even made it a non-governmental and non-profit organization.
Good for him. Oslo, Norway.
Genius. Yes. Yeah. And this, honestly, this just goes to show how stupid Americans actually are. And this is not, I'm not there's nothing, this is actually not bagging on any trans individual or anything along those lines.
No.
But the tweet that went out, let me see if I can find it here. Where is it? Please don't tell me they pulled it. Because that would make me really sad if they pulled it. I don't see it.
Wow. Maybe it was too big of an uproar.
Let me follow my links real quick.
Yeah.
Because my links were solid. Here we go. Okay.
There it is.
Aretha Franklin's 1968 song, Natural Woman, perpetuates multiple harmful anti-trans stereotypes. There is no such thing as a quote-unquote natural woman. This song has helped inspire acts of harm against transgender women. TCMA is requesting it is removed from Spotify and Apple Music. Now, this got everybody, including Sky News.
Yep.
Sky News is huge. Now, it's been updated since, and I'm pretty sure it says, let's see here. They didn't even update it that it's a parody.
Nope, they didn't. That's the original article.
Standing for Women founder Kelly J. Keene says it's really hard to ignore. Wow. That is terrible that they never went in and actually updated it.
You know, it's funny because, I of course told my wife about this story, and we were in just an uproar around the house because we both grew up with this song. And I'm doing something in my office. She comes storming in, and she's like, and you know what? Actually, if you wanted to spin it, you could say that you make me feel like a natural woman is actually really pro-transgender because someone who wasn't born a woman but is a woman now, and someone makes them feel like a real woman, like that could be positive. And she was just fired up, and I'm like, dude, that's such a good point. I mean, you could spin this both ways, either way. And the fact that it was a parody, and we all wanted to believe that someone was trying to trash Aretha Franklin.
That was where we all went. We were all defending Aretha Franklin, one of the greatest voices in the history of music
ever. Yes. And despite the fact that she's African American, or she had her own, woes with her marriages and everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, she's an amazing talent, and we all loved her for it. And then you're going to trash this song? Come on. And oh my God. I mean, we were fired up around here. I know other people were too.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Daily Mail was the other one, and they actually pulled their story down. It no longer exists on Twitter.
Pussies.
So it just goes to show, right? Do your homework. Yeah. I got taken by it. I should have seen that. I didn't. I should have read. Okay, is this because I'm usually pretty good about that? I don't get caught very often. This one, I didn't look into it nearly enough, and well, there you are.
You know what I think they count on, and by they I mean parody accounts, because wasn't it was just a couple of weeks ago you threw something in the chat, and I was having a really busy day, really busy week.
Yep.
And it was from the Babylon Bee, but I didn't see that because I know who the Babylon Bee is. I know who they are. I know what they do, but I didn't see it was from them. So I thought it was an actual headline, and I was pissed. And then you're like, dude, that was the Babylon Bee. I'm like, holy shit.
Okay.
So I think they count on us being busy and not taking the time to research. Yep. And so that's what I love about this show, because we can, number one, be honest about the fact that they got us. They got both of us fired up. Yep. And number two, that we can go back and say, okay, they got us initially, but then we went and researched it and we found out the truth. I will tell you this, on this show, you are going to get a fair smattering of opinion from both McShane and I, and not always do we agree. So I think the opinion is healthy and we have good debate. But at the end of the day, if we can find the truth, you will get the truth here. We're not gonna we're not going to just throw out just bullshit stuff that we didn't research or don't know anything about. We're going to make sure that if we say something is a fact, that we've taken it to its most possible, furthest possible reaches and found out everything we could about it before we say that. Otherwise, it's just opinion.
Absolutely. It's just a bunch of conjecture. Absolutely. Yep. I love it. How's that beer treating you?
Dude, I'm almost, well, I'm going to say, one really healthy gulp away from finishing this thing. The more this warmed up, you know what came through, not heavy, but just much more, is the vanilla. This really, it opened up all the vanilla notes. So this actually turned into definitely not a dessert beer, but much more palatable as you kind of get deeper into it, because it just, man, it really warmed up nicely. Putting aside the fact that those are three of the most beautiful women I've ever seen, these people they know what they're doing as far as brewing, because you can really go too far one way or the other with a stout like this, and they just balanced it perfectly. This is a really good product. Amazing beer.
Brewing is not just for dudes.
No, it's amazing. It's chemistry. It's chemistry.
It is chemistry. And if you're good at it, you're good at it.
Yep.
I do like my Helles Lager, but it is setting me up for a nice clean palate for the next beer.
And you got a bomb to drop, I'm sure. You sent that picture earlier today, and I thought, I hope he's not planning on doing all three of those in one show, because it would be.
I thought about it, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm gonna do one tonight, and then I'm going to do another one later in the week, probably, and then I'll do another one later on. I'll do all three of them this week.
Okay.
There's no way I could have done it. I thought about it. I was feeling really reckless earlier today. Really, really pissed.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, the show's too important. Don't do that. So I'm going to leave you with this. You're going to choose one of these two. All right.
Okay.
PB&J or Fruity Pebbles.
All right, I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice because I feel like too many brewers try for the PB&J and they fuck it up. So I'm gonna say Fruity Pebbles.
Okay, this is Oso. This is Oso Brewing.
I know who it is. I'm just saying, I have never had a PB&J beer that I enjoyed.
Okay,
and I want you to have an enjoyable beer for this next one, because we still have some heavy stuff to get to. So
we do. We're getting to the Pelosi stuff. We've got some guy who heard demons singing "Umbrella" by Rhianna. We might get into Atlanta riots. Well, we've got a ton to get into. It's gonna be awesome. So let's go to our sponsors now. We'll get our beers and we'll come back and get after it.
Let's do it. Can't wait.
All right, coming back to beer 2. So before we broke, I asked you to choose between PB&J and Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah.
So I have the Knights of Windsor line from Oso Brewing. Now this is a wee heavy, big beer, aged in bourbon maple syrup barrels with cinnamon, vanilla, and natural fruit flavors.
Shit.
This is Fruity Pebbles. I don't do candy beers. I don't do PB&J beers. I don't like peanut stouts. Peanut butter stouts. Don't like them. But today I found all 3 of the ales of Windsor, or the Knights of Windsor. Found them together, and I went in and took a shot at it. I also noticed that apparently dark beer season might be over down here, because everything is like IPA, lager.
Dude,
I hate that.
Same up here. It's not just you. Totally same.
Fucking frustrating.
And yeah, I hate that too. It is frustrating, because there's those of us out there who like an occasional IPA here and there, but that's not our go-to. But everything else that we like is just gone. It's just disappeared.
Well, I'm going to have my my Fruity Pebbles Knights of Windsor. Whoa.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so a wee heavy. It's a Scotch ale, so tons of malt, but it's not like a dark malt. It's like a.
Oh, it's sweet.
It's super sweet. It's heavy. It's not super hoppy, but it's. I mean, when you think of Scots, okay,
I was just going to say, yes.
It's abrasive. It's rough.
Yeah.
It's really nice, but
and it's wet. It's
gonna
and
punch
soggy.
you in the throat. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. I was just going to say that. I'm like, it encapsulates the Scottish heritage in a beer. That's so funny. Yeah, totally.
So this is a wee heavy aged in Bliss bourbon barrels, and yes, it tastes a little bit like Fruity Pebbles, and I can't wrap my head around that. It actually makes. I'm not a big wee heavy drinker, just because it's not a pleasant high ABV for me.
Yeah,
I like my imperial stouts and stuff like that. The sweetness of the fruit notes cut the booze.
Yeah.
There's a lactose flavor in there that really pops, and it's a smooth drink. Oh my God.
So
yeah, this is crazy.
I'm with you on the
really good
on the wee heavies. Yeah, they've well, and again, I don't live there anymore. But yeah, even before I left, Oso was already kind of putting their money into, the knowledge and the experience of brewing,
right,
so that they put out really high quality stuff. They were already doing that, and then on top of it, they have a super high end distillery. They're putting out their own liquor and stuff. But two things. One, I'm with you on the wee heavies. The wee heavy to me has always been, you don't start the night with a wee heavy. You don't start the night there, because it's going to be a bad night. Too much of your Scottish heritage. I don't care if you're 1/100th Scottish. It's going to come out and it's going to be ugly. So you don't start the night with that. But if you finish the night with a wee heavy, you will sleep like the fucking dead. You will sleep like you've never slept before, if that's your last beer before bed. And that's just been my experience. But I like finishing the evening with a wee heavy, because again, they are heavy on the ABV. They're sweet. The palate is easy, and then bam, they hit bottom, and you might have to wake up at 5 a.m. to take a piss, but otherwise you're going to sleep the whole night. So just a little word of advice there from a fucking drunk, I guess. Here's the second thing. And this is something interesting we really haven't brought up on the show before, but I think would be worth talking about, not necessarily tonight, because we have a lot to get to. So, and we will get to it. But is there do you think there's a certain placebo effect to a beer? And by that, I mean, if they hadn't said the words Fruity Pebbles, you just had this beer on a blind taste test, is that what you would have picked up? Is Fruity Pebbles, or is it because on the can it says it's called Fruity Pebbles that then you drink it and you're like, oh fuck yeah, that's Fruity Pebbles? I don't know how much is in there.
So, no, I see what you say. I see what you're saying, or I hear what you're saying. No, I think there is something to that. Yeah, the name could shape what you're getting. For a beer that's just, we'll say Boris the Destroyer Imperial Stout. Okay, that doesn't. It's a very generic name or it's a cartoon name that goes with a certain type of beer.
Right.
So you're going to go ahead and form what you think that beer, your mind's eye is going to take that taste and form and come up with the flavor profile and spit out exactly what you're getting, right? So yeah, I could see where, the can, I mean, it looks like Fruity Pebbles on it. It's got some zombies on it. This particular line. And yeah, it says Fruity Pebbles, and I can taste it. If I did not know the name was Fruity Pebbles, I would tell you that I do taste maybe some strawberry, maybe some raspberry. I definitely get some fruit notes that are more of like a berry type of a flavor. But you also get a candy sugar lactose that goes along with it. So would I have called it Fruity Pebbles? No, but I can see where the name is fitting of it. And I never really ate Fruity Pebbles when I was.
Me either. I couldn't stand the stuff. I think, and I'm going to say just my opinion, and we may take this discussion further, in later shows if we want to, when we come across a beer that we should talk about. But my take is that I think it's kind of 50-50. I think that you and I our palates are at this point, educated enough, sophisticated enough that we can pick up different fruits, different, we can taste the leathers, the prunes, the alcohol, we can pick a lot of that up. But when they name something a certain thing, like say Butterfinger, there's a beer out there, Butterfinger. I know it's a peanut butter chocolate stout, but when you say Butterfinger on it, all of a sudden I taste that candy bar. So they can put like a specific note on it that, you're picking up fruits and things like that in your Fruity Pebbles, but would you have called it that? No. But as soon as they say Fruity Pebbles, you're like, oh shit. Yeah. It's like I'm eating the cereal. So I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's, nature and nurture. I think you get, some of both in the discussion, and, good on the brewers for doing that, honestly. Because they're trying to get you to have a certain experience with the beer. And they're achieving it. So good on them. Or sometimes they completely miss the mark, and we're honest about that too. Like, this fucking beer sucked. You did not give me leather cherries here. You gave me, I don't even know what that is. But you gave me some crap, and I don't want to taste this anymore. So sometimes they miss the mark, but when they hit it, like with the beer you're having, kudos to them. Good for you. You're giving an experience, and McShane had it. And so good job, Oso.
I love it.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
Okay. So brand new brewery to me. This is Logston. So Logsdon, Logston Farmhouse Ales. I don't know where they are out of. I'm going to guess Washington. Yeah. Washougal, Washington. So this is a Logston Farmhouse Ale. This is called Forager. Beautiful picture on there of the the rainforest up in these parts, with a good picture of, I'm going to guess it's Mount St. Helens, but I don't know. But this is Forager is an imperial porter aged in whiskey barrels with candy cap mushrooms. So this is a first time for me. Yeah. Imperial porters are hard to come by, period. Then you age them in whiskey barrels. Okay, I'm in. And then with candy cap mushrooms, which are kind of on the sweeter end of the mushroom family. Very edible. A lot of people cook with them, but you have to cook them with the right meat or they get too sweet and they ruin everything. So, and that's literally the extent of my knowledge of candy cap mushrooms. But that's what's in this beer. I literally have not taken a sip yet, so let's see what we got here.
So their website, farmhousebeer.com, is useless. I'll just throw that out there now.
Wow. You are not kidding. I mean, beautiful picture, but okay. Right. This is a very... So first of all, let me talk about the pour. I already had a heads up that this was going to be an unusual beer. When I was pouring it, so what color is a porter to you?
To me, a porter is going to be not a super dark brown. It's probably going to be more of a lighter black, if that makes any sense, or a clearer black.
100%. I'm with you on that. They're not the black of a stout, that midnight black, but maybe like, the ocean at dusk. Like that. There's some deep depths there, but you can see some color coming through.
Right.
This was caramel brown.
Interesting.
This was a nut brown pour. So I already knew this was going to be different. The mouthfeel is thick. It's meaty. There's a healthy head on this beer. There is definitely a mushroom. I think that's where the meaty flavor is coming from. There is a prune sort of edge to it, even maybe cherry, but not heavy, just kind of in that neighborhood. And then the booze, it runs hot. This is only a 10.7. I mean, 10.7 is high, but not like yours, like a 13.8 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And yet I would say, if like you just gave me a blind taste test kind of thing, I would say this was a 12. It's really hot.
So they don't hide the booze.
Not at all.
When was it bottled?
Let's see here. There is 0 dates on this, and it's a can. So, yeah, I got nothing here. I have no idea. Could have been last week or 3 years ago. I don't know.
Wow. Well, okay.
I mean, I am not complaining. Solid beer, very good offering. I'll definitely try these guys again based on this beer. I'm just not sure. Okay, here's my take. I feel like a bunch of fucking, hippies went out and their day job is they're brewers and they're doing okay.
Yep.
Some people come to their pub, whatever. And then they found this patch of mushrooms and they're like,
shrooms. We should throw those in.
We should throw these in the whiskey barrel when we're aging our new Imperial Porter. Yeah. And
porter.
Yeah. And they did it and it's okay. I'm not going to give it a 10. I'm not going to give it a 5. It's probably like a 6.5, 7.
Okay. That's
so
all right.
Decent beer, but nothing I'm going to make love to. This is not a sex beer.
They make a session stout.
Huh. Interesting. That's a pretty can. That's really cool looking.
Yeah, it's a really pretty can. I'm trying to see what the ABV is on it because session you're talking like
5 and below.
Yeah, I would even go 4 and below. That's interesting. Huh. I don't know if I'd want a session stout because I want a little heat with it, but hey,
yeah, dude.
It takes all kinds, so that's still cool.
Yeah. So anyway, I kind of we have these weird little trends that you and I go on. Sometimes they coordinate. Other times we're like on complete opposite ends of the spectrum. This week for me really felt like I was just trying brand new stuff. I was way out of my wheelhouse. I mean, yes, I chose stouts, so I knew what I was kind of getting into, but brand new brewers I'd never heard of, and kind of different recipes. I mean, that first one, the Daruma stout, that one had persimmon in it. You don't find a lot of stouts with persimmon in it, and I think that's kind of the notes that I was getting on the end with that vanilla. There was an herbal end to it. I think that's what it was. And then this one, you got the mushrooms in there, and it's just unusual stuff. Again, we're just out there exploring. We want to give you guys the full, sort of experience of it without actually having tasted the beer yourself. We're trying to give you as much as we can. But at the end of the day, selfishly, I'm choosing beers that I think I might like. Right. And so I've liked both my beers tonight, and that's a plus.
No, that's good. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
Especially when you're stepping out of your comfort zone.
Right.
All right. So beer 2, they're both in full effect. I like it. I like where we're going with it. I'm going to go out to our sponsors real quick. We're going to come back and we're going to get into some Pelosi news.
Excellent.
All right. So the week started off with a news story about the Pelosi's reportedly summons priests to exorcise home of evil spirits. This happened on the 21st.
My God, I fucking love this. You have no idea how much I love this.
The power of Nancy compels you is the New York Post story. Former House Majority Leader Nancy Pelosi summoned priests to rid her luxe San Francisco home of evil spirits after a man allegedly attacked her hubby there with a hammer. I think that weighed really heavy on her soul. I think she felt really guilty, said Pelosi's daughter, Alexandra. The New York Times reported Saturday. Okay, cool. You go ahead and get Father Arturo Albano, the pastor of St. Vincent de Paul Church, Pelosi's local parish. He actually insisted.
Yeah, this is the weird part. Listen to this carefully.
So
go ahead.
He insisted his staff was not involved in such rite. As far as I know, no exorcism or priest services were performed at her home, Albano told the Post. But Pelosi may have gone outside her local church hierarchy for holy help. San Francisco Archbishop Salvatore Cordileone banned the Democrat from receiving Holy Communion in May until such time as you publicly repudiate your advocacy for the legitimacy of abortion. So she was funny. Not... This is so jacked up.
Oh, it's crazy that she's a fucking Catholic, but she's, Democrat to the point of supporting, abortion for anybody and everybody. And I'm not on either side of that aisle. I'm not making an opinion. I'm just saying that's a weird juxtaposition inside of her head. I wonder how she justifies all that philosophically.
I mean, millions of dollars help that, right?
Yeah. Well, so here's what I love about this.
Fantastic trading helps too. Go ahead.
And again, this might be the 11%er that I drank earlier talking, but I love the fact that the priest was like telling his staff, like, no, I got this, guys. And I just picture him. I picture him showing up at the Pelosi's at like midnight, right? It's Friday night
with a hammer.
Hold on. Hold on. It's Friday night. He shows up at midnight. It's raining. And he shows up in a fucking trench coat, right? I mean, of course, it's raining. And Nancy opens the door. And she says, "Oh, Father, how do I know it's you?" And he just... So here's what... Again, this is just in Fitz's head. He undoes the belt of the trench coat and opens up, and he's completely nude, and she's like, "Yes, that's the correct password."
That's the correct
and then
one.
he comes in and he diddles her husband for like an hour.
Oh, that already happened.
No, but this is by a priest. This is how you exorcise the demons.
Okay.
This is from a priest. He diddles him. Priests know what they're doing, dude. When they diddle somebody, they know how to do it. I mean, that's been made clear over the last 40 years. So he diddles the husband, and then Nancy does some sort of, I don't know what, a pole dance or something. I don't know.
Well, she wasn't in there. She wasn't in there. She was up. She was checking her stock market plays for the next day.
Her stock portfolio that's grown by $50,000.
She was getting a transfusion. She's
adrenochrome. That's what she was doing. Anyway, so the diddling happens. The husband's like, "Thank you. I feel like all my demons are exorcised. Can you come back tomorrow?" And then everything. Then the house is clean, right? It's clean, other than the clean up on aisle 6. But the demons are gone. No more Pfizer in the house. You're clear. That's how I pictured that whole thing going.
All right. So that's how the week starts. All right, priest diddling and all.
Yeah.
So then we have a report that Google is being sued for... The DOJ has officially opened up a lawsuit against Google to break up its ad technology monopoly. Pelosi sold $3 million worth of Google just 4 weeks ago. Amazing how that happens. Nancy is a savant.
Dude, she is not only a savant, she's a clairvoyant. Like she sees this shit coming from the ether.
She might be well, we just had demons. She may be channeling shit from like the 7 depths of hell.
All right.
To know what kind of stock plays to have.
Okay, so here's my commitment to you, to the show, to our listeners.
We're going to take up Satanism?
No. The next time I'm in San Fran,
you're going to go knock on her door.
I'm going to hit up Nancy and I'm going to have her read my palms, dude. I want to know what's coming for me in the next 10 years because apparently she knows everything.
Yeah, she's got big fun bags too.
Well, she does have giant wagons.
We need to send Hefe there.
I was gonna say I'm not into that kind of thing. So if Hefe wants to go and have fun with the fun bags, and then I'll just come in later and have her read my palm.
That works.
Yeah, but she's obviously a fortune teller. She's amazing.
Well, listen, Son, you've laid it out perfectly, which is that when people send, when the voters send members of Congress to Washington, they expect them to do the people's business. Not to be day trading on the stock market, not to be using the information that they get from briefings to go and make a quick buck on Wall Street. So here's what my bill does. It says no more trading of stocks by members of Congress. In fact, no more ownership of stocks by members of Congress. If you want to save, fine, put it in a mutual fund like most Americans do. But Nancy Pelosi is the perfect example of what should not be happening in D.C., which is people getting rich on the stock market off of information they know because they're a member of Congress. Well,
right after this drops from the DOJ, Senator Hawley, and I can't stand Senator Hawley. I can't stand him. This guy is a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah. I want to kick him in the teeth.
No more trading or ownership of stock by members of Congress. Nancy Pelosi is the perfect example of what should not be happening in D.C. So there's a Nancy Pelosi bill going back to what the Republicans are doing, dragging all the Democrats through the mud and through the excruciating journey. This is another one that's never going to get voted in. It will not happen. But it's amazing that he's dropping that bomb, especially this week.
Yeah, and it to your earlier point, the Democrats now have to say, no, we're not going to vote on this because we support Nancy Pelosi making millions of dollars off of her knowledge of upcoming stock trades. They have to go on record by saying, no, we support Nancy Pelosi no matter what, even though she made millions off of American taxpayers. And I hate Hawley too, but this is like one of those moments where you can you know how they say you can find something in common with everybody on the planet. This is the one place that me and Hawley meet is right here on this act. Cause I would love to see this go in. I would love to see it.
It's almost like siding with
Satan.
Yeah, he might be worse.
Look at his fucking smug face, dude.
Oh, he's just such a piece of shit. Anyway, so you have to vote no to this, and you're going to be sitting there going, "I have to vote no to this. I have to go on record to vote no to this."
Yep.
Now it might get to a table. It might get put in it might get shelved someplace. Nobody knows, but still, that's out there. Now, here's the kicker. This is the end to Pelosi's week. The body cam footage comes out.
Oh God. Oh God.
That was bad. That was really, really bad.
You know what's really weird, dude? When you sent that, because I hadn't seen it yet, and then you sent the link. How it happened is almost exactly how I had pictured it in my head.
Yeah.
Which is really good. Good job on the reporters that had reported on what the police said. Everything on site. So good job on the journalists. There is some good journalism going on out there. Good job, you guys. Because I pictured this exact scene happening, but to watch it and to watch the dude watch Pelosi get nailed in the head with a fucking hammer, that was crazy.
It's incredibly graphic. So if you're going out to watch it, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You've got Axion body cam footage. I have no doubt that this scene is real.
It's real.
There's no doubt.
No, everything down to the fucking sneakers and the white socks.
Yeah. So
at 2 a.m. That's
you got this big burly dude. Probably.
Yeah, he's built.
He's he's bigger than me, not like height wise, but I mean, he's probably got 60 pounds on me. He's pretty big guy.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
But they open the door, and Paul Pelosi, he looks drunk. He looks
or
like
high
half
or
asleep,
something.
drunk, high, whatever.
Yeah.
Let me play it again so we can watch it. The cops come to the door opens. Cops are just kind of hanging out. I don't know why cops turn away from the door. That's weird.
They're making sure nobody's sneaking up behind them. I mean, I get that. Like, you're going into a weird situation. You probably want to make sure you're checking your six, dude. I mean, yeah.
So, and now, okay, so the door's open, right? You got Paul Pelosi. He's in his underwear and a blue button-up. He's holding the head of a hammer, who this other guy has.
Yeah,
and he's got a highball glass in his left hand.
Yes,
so
he does.
Either, I'll just say it, it looks like they were having a drink together and suddenly a hammer comes out. I don't know why, but I mean, that's the scene that we're portraying here. Because if you're in duress, you're not going to be considered, well,
yeah,
I'm in my underwear and I got a highball glass.
No, that was going to be my point is, and again, I'm taking my, any training I've had, just as a human, somebody's a stranger, someone I don't know or didn't invite there, is in my house with a hammer. I'm not casually holding a whiskey glass, a highball with looks at least one, maybe two fingers of bourbon or whiskey in there. I'm not just going to hang out with that. I'm throwing the fucking whiskey glass at the dude's face and I'm going for that hammer. I'm going to take this dude to the ground. I'm going to do everything I can to fucking make this guy get out of my house. When the cops show up, I'm going to be pleading, saying, hey, help me. This guy's unwelcomed. He shouldn't be here. Does any of that happen? No, nothing.
He was really casual about it. He was very casual.
Totally.
And I don't know why the cops didn't just either tase the guy or shoot him right there. You knew it was going to happen. That was
it happens. It happens pretty quick because because Paul has a hold of the hammer, and then all of a sudden, boom! That was a great place to pause it, where you just pause it, because all of a sudden, boom, the hammer gets ripped out of his hand, and the dude just swings and connects right with his head. You can tell the first swing hits.
Well, and it looks right there. Is that Paul's kind of got that look on his face like, ow, you're hurting my hand.
Yeah,
you're trying to take the head of the hammer out.
Yep.
And this guy's working it out of his hand. I mean, I don't know how old he is, 86, 85, somewhere. I mean, he's up there in age. Like, after he got hit, I don't know how he survived that hit.
Agreed. He's definitely in his 80s. And the other dude is in his 30s, 40s?
Yeah, late 30s, early 40s.
Late 30s, I thought. Yeah, 38 is what I think it was. Yeah.
Okay.
So definitely a much more physically, virile man. Rips the hammer out of his hand and then immediately strikes him. Immediately.
Yeah, that was a no doubter. There was no doubt that's what he was going for.
Yeah.
Cops come in. He's Paul Pelosi's on the ground. He's done. He's out.
And what I love about the footage when you watch it, because I at this point, the fact that McShane and I are doing play-by-play means all of you are going to have to go and watch this. If you listen to the audio, there's a moment where the cops are like, what the fuck's going on? And all of a sudden the hammer gets ripped out of Paul's hands and the attack happens. And you just hear the cops go, oh shit. Yep. Like there's that moment of like, oh fuck, this is an actual, attack. And so they react appropriately. I got nothing against the cops here.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I can't knock the cops. Now it was a hit. He's out. He's on the floor. There's a pool of blood.
Yeah.
This dude was not complying. So I hope they roughed him up a little bit.
Oh yeah, me too. I hope they tased him right in his butthole. I mean, that supposedly is pretty painful. Allegedly. Allegedly. I'm asking for a friend, but
let's go to the break-in. So
okay. Yeah. So I found this. This came out about 3 days later after the body cam footage. And I'm just going to tell you from Fitz's point of view, after the body cam footage, it's almost like they had to say, okay, that evidence has come out, so now we have to release this portion to just show that it was an actual break-in. That's what it felt like to me. Why didn't this come out, 4 months ago, whenever this story broke? Why didn't they release this immediately and be like, look, he broke in? But they didn't. They waited till now? Really? Come on.
So there's another, let me see if I can get, there's actually another, this one isn't very good because he actually goes off screen in the other one that I found and picks up a bag, looks like a backpack, and brings his backpack up like he was coming to the house. It's very, very odd. It looks very, very staged.
It looks more than staged. It's blurry. It looks like it's snowing. I mean, I guess we can say it's just dust.
No,
or wind.
So if you look at the light, I look at the light where the light is. Those are bugs. That's a ton of gnats and stuff that are right in front of that light. So I don't have any problem with that part, but it is. Well, actually, if you're trying to go ahead and blur it, that would be something.
That's what I'm saying.
Do.
That's what I'm saying. And the other part of it is, why wouldn't you release this earlier? And dude, look at that. Some of those aren't bugs. Some of those are not. Well, maybe they are because they're changing direction. Either way, let's not overanalyze. All I'm saying is, if your story is this guy broke in and assaulted Paul Pelosi, why would not this particular footage be released day 1, day 2? Like, let's just show this guy breaking in. No, they waited until the body cam footage was released, where it looks like Paul was complicit to some degree in this with a highball, like you said, a fucking glass of whiskey, gently holding on to the head of this hammer. It looks like he invited the guy in. The guy was supposed to be there, and then he attacked. I don't know, dude. The whole thing, as I said earlier in the week when we were kind of texting back and forth, this whole fucking thing just keeps getting weirder. When I think we know all the weirdness that could happen with the Paul Pelosi attack, then boom, they release something more strange, more crazy. What the fuck?
Hold on. So I just thought of something. Wait a second. I want to open this up real quick. Oh, this one doesn't have a timestamp on it.
That's the other thing that was, someone brought that up in the comments. Where's the timestamp? How do we know this was taken that night?
Right.
Because I've got Blink cameras all around my house. They all have a timestamp on them.
I'm pretty sure my cameras do as well. And there's no reason that you can't show that. He's 82.
82. There you go.
It looks hokey. It really does.
You can't see the guy's face. I mean, he's wearing the same clothes, but other than that, there's no proof it's the same man. There's no proof that I don't know what Pelosi's house looks like in the backyard or whatever house. And you know what's also weird about that? I don't know if you've ever tried to break a window before, but he has to strike that window like 3 times. And maybe they have some like super secret.
I'm still, and I know when this came out, we definitely shredded it because I think it was during it was during the elections. It was right before the election.
Yeah, it was,
because we figured it gave Pelosi a really great way to like bow out in some way.
Yeah.
Well, so I know we did not take it as seriously as we probably, somebody was just attacked. So by seeing this, yes, I apologize. Yes, he definitely was attacked. But then when you look at the rest of it, it looks like he was attacked by his gay lover.
Yes. No, and that's the thing is like everybody wants, I mean, you got 2 sides. If you look through all the comments, I invite you all to go to Twitter and look through all the comments. People are either saying, oh, I want apologies for Paul Pelosi because he was absolutely attacked that night by a QAnon supporter, all the way to no, it was his gay lover. QAnon supporter, this dude they went to his place of residence, which was a bus, a rainbow colored bus with Ukraine flags, with, pro-Democrat, Black Lives Matters. This was not a QAnon Trump supporter that attacked Paul Pelosi, period. Whatever else happened, I'm not going to make any conjecture. I don't know. But it wasn't a fucking Trump attack. That's not what this was. And if you want to make it that, good luck, because you're way barking up the wrong tree. What it was, I don't know.
Yeah,
but I'll tell you what it wasn't. Oh, there you go.
Him coming in with a backpack and see,
we got 1, 2, 3 before he broke the window, and then he 4, 5, 6, 7 to get the glass out of his way so he could actually get in. Oh, 8, 9. What the hell?
This is the Speaker of the House. It's her house.
Where's the security?
Where's the security? Why aren't alarms going off?
All right. We've spent too long on this already. Let's move on. We'll leave it up to our listeners to make up their own judgments. The fact of the matter is, it's weird. Nothing about it makes sense. And if you want to make an argument for one side or the other, you could probably make it stick. What we're saying is none of that actually makes sense. Like, the truth, as we say, the truth is probably somewhere in the middle, and we'll never know what actually happened that night.
I really want to discuss the TikTok from the Faith Culture Church.
Oh, yeah, the Michigan priest.
The Michigan priest suffered a heart attack. He died and said his spirit left his physical body and plummeted to the center of the earth, where he says hell is. I thought I was going up because I thought I had done so much good in this lifetime, trying to help so many people and made so many decisions that were godly decisions. But as opposed to me going up, I went down. In the interview posted to TikTok and YouTube, which now has over 3.5 million views, Johnson explains what he saw was horrifying. The things that I saw were indescribable, and it makes me emotional every time I talk about it. Johnson describes seeing a man walking on all fours like a dog and getting burned from head to toe. His eyes were bulging out, and worse than that, he was wearing chains on his neck. He was like a hellhound. There was a demon holding the chains. Like telepathic communication, I knew the demon was sent in this man's life to ride him from his childhood to his death. He also warned that the demon's goal is to have mankind serve them in hell. I'm going to fast forward here.
Yeah.
Johnson said he also experienced another part of hell that blew him away. He describes a section in hell where secular music plays. It is the same music we hear on the earth, but as opposed to entertainers singing it, the music demons were singing it. Johnson said he heard songs like Rhianna's Umbrella and Bobby McFerrin's Don't Worry, Be Happy.
Don't worry, be happy. What the fuck?
If I go to hell and I hear Umbrella being sung by a bunch of demons and Don't Worry, Be Happy, and the demon is doing all those cool sounds that Bobby McFerrin could do with every part of his body because that was badass, I'm going to be like, you know what? This is a party.
Even if you're on fire?
Even if I'm on fire, fuck it at that point. I got entertainment.
How many parties? I'm going to say the over-under is 3. How many parties have one of us been on fire at?
Oh, wow.
I think it's over.
Well, it's over. It's way over 3. I've been on fire several times in my life. Besides the parties, even. Did you know I lit myself on fire on a prom date?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had a really nice prom date. This is when I was dating Wendy.
Okay. Yeah. Very nice girl. Very nice.
Very, very lovely girl. Volleyball
lovely
player,
girl. Yep.
High school crush.
Athlete. Beautiful girl. And you know what was great is even she and I got along, which was nice.
Yeah.
It's always nice when your best friends,
Yeah.
You get along with her. Yeah, it was great.
Yep. So I had in the backyard, I had a dessert after the prom.
For all of you who don't know, we don't talk about this much, but McShane and I are both at heart. We are both romantics. We like the over the top romantic gestures. And I'd say now I'm less so. Now you're less so. But back in the day, we were all about it. In fact, I will say this. I don't know if I've ever told you this. I actually learned a lot from you in that department. I always wanted to be the romantic and the over the top gesture kind of guy. I just didn't know how to go about it. And then you would tell me these stories about what you did. And I'm like, dude, that's a fucking rad idea. I'm so doing that next time. So you helped coach me and all that.
That's okay because you were the bad boy and chicks dug the shit out of that and they loved you.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to be that. So I always appreciated that. So I always yearned to be that. So we kind of traded in that area. So thank you.
Well, and we met in the middle because neither one of us is either of those things anymore.
That's right. Yeah. We pretty much suck. So anyway, long story short, I had this candlelit desserts.
Yeah.
And it was really nice. It was on a table in the backyard. We're going to sit and have a good time and stuff like that. And for whatever reason, I lit a napkin on fire somehow on accident. So I knocked it on the ground and I went to step on it and stomp it out. Well, the wax on my shoes, because I had really nice dress shoes on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they lit on fire. It was great.
Spit shine. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
I will never forget the time that I summoned superhuman strength when we were dancing around. We had a camp. We had a little too much to drink. I'm not going to say a lot, but a little. And you were dancing around. We were playing some game where you had to skank, and skanked.
I was singing. It was the Cars song.
Okay, so
I made it up on the fly. Yep,
you did, and it was awesome. Like we were all just dying in laughter and admiration because you fucking killed it. But your foot caught on something. You fell back. And you literally sat down in the fire pit, which we always, to our credit, we always had a healthy fire. I mean, it was never like just embers. I mean, the fucking thing was roaring. And I jumped over there. We all went, oh shit. And I jumped over there and somehow my little tiny 150-pound frame pulled you right the fuck out of there. And you had not a scratch on you, not a burn, not a singe. You still had all your hair. That was a crazy night. So one night, I don't know if I ever told the story. This is going to be really quick. At the end of high school, we played that. Remember that we played that kind of multi-high school volleyball tournament? That's actually where you and I first met.
Right.
And I met Big Travis, who was 6'8", and his buddies, Crazy Matt, and all those guys. And they invited me to this house party. And I can't remember if Hefe was there. Hefe will have to chime in and let me know if he was there. I know that our mutual friend Heesun was there. Another one of our girl volleyball friends was there. Anyway, we went to this house party up on Camelback Mountain. I mean, ritzy, only the wealthy live up there.
Was that Nello's?
No. Well, I can't say that for sure. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, Travis, who's we're talking, he was like a junior in high school at the time, and he was already 6'8", he's like, hey, have you ever, spit Everclear on your hand and then lit it on fire? And I was like, no. And he's like, here's how you do it. So he spit Everclear all over his hand and lit it on fire. And then he just shook it out and was like, no problem. And our friend Heesun was there, who I was attracted to. And so I was like, well, I'm going to impress her. So I'm going to spray my whole, basically from my bicep down to my fingers, spray the whole thing with Everclear. And then I'll shake that out. Well, if you think about the physics of that, your hand shakes out just fine, but basically from the wrist up, it doesn't shake. So it just keeps burning. And so I was on fire and I shook out my hand, which went out, but the rest of me was still on fire. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it started to get hot. Like at first you don't feel it, and then it got hot.
Right.
And so somebody, I think it was Crazy Matt. If I had to guess, it was Crazy Matt. Somebody just shoved me down to the ground and smothered me, and the flame went out. So that was before. I mean, I was only 18 at the time, so we're already at +1 for both you and I.
Nice.
And so I'm fairly sure it's definitely above. We're definitely gonna be, if the plus minus is 3, I think we're definitely above that.
Oh yeah, no, we totally are. And Hefe's in his car right now listening to this, and he's thinking, do you remember the time that Derek lit himself on fire with Everclear?
Oh
Yes, we
my
do.
God. Yes. Remember that?
We do. Yes, we do. I know this is not helping anybody at home other than your safety minute is don't put Everclear on your body or try to play with fire at all, period. It's not a good idea.
No.
Or it really is, and we didn't tell you to do it.
Yeah. Or I mean, at least when you're drinking, right? I mean, if you're completely like stone cold sober, user's own risk, go for it. But if you're drinking, please don't set anything on fire that isn't meant to be on fire. All right, where are we at in the news here? What do we got? So, just to wrap up the Michigan priest story, because I know we bunny trailed a little bit, but we're coming back now. This dude, and I actually like the message that he says, and it kind of wraps around to the beginning of the show. He felt like the reason he went down to hell, even though he was a preacher, was because he didn't have forgiveness for everybody. He wasn't ultimately forgiving of everybody, no matter if you were a criminal, a drug user, you'd had an abortion, whatever. He wasn't forgiving those people. He had ultimate judgment of God, and that's why he felt like he went down to hell. So when he got brought back to life, his message now is that we need to have forgiveness for everyone, for ourselves, family members. We need to give each other grace for the mistakes we've made and move on from day one. And I really actually like that message. I'm who knows if he fucking saw, demons singing Rhianna. I don't know. But the fact is he came back with a new message, which is probably a really positive message for all of mankind. We need to forgive one another for being human. So I thought that was cool.
Although I did good, the thing I had in my heart was the unforgiveness to the people who wronged me. A person that can't forgive is a person that has forgotten how much they have been forgiven. That's deep. And you know what?
It's way deep.
I think with all of the hate in my heart that was today, I should probably forgive that person. And I'm going to think about that now. I'm going to think about it. I'm not necessarily going to do it, but I'm going to think about it.
Dude, good for you. Good for you. You know what I appreciate? I just have to say this one quick thing and then we'll move on to the next thing. Yep. I was pulling all of Tammy's clothes out of the bushes in the tree. And my wife asked her, she said it this way: no judgment at all. I don't care. But is there any drug paraphernalia or anything that might poke my husband while he's getting your stuff? And I thought that was just such a really brilliant human way to say that. Like, look, I don't care what you've done, but are you putting my husband in harm's way? And and she said, no, there's nothing like that. But it just gave her permission to admit, shit, there's needles in there or there's whatever. And I just thought that was a really great way to put that. So kudos to my wife. She really rallied tonight. And just when I said I needed help, she just came out there and we fucking did it. So, God, we're just all humans. We're all just trying to fucking deal with the reality right now. And so let's be honest with one another, but let's also keep each other safe.
Should we just go to cool shit now? I feel like that's kind of where we are in the show right now.
Let's do that. Can I really quick side note? And it's kind of this segues into cool shit. This is part of my cool shit, I guess.
Okay.
So that priest got sent down. He calls it down to the core of Earth, right?
Right.
So there's been a lot of stories this week. I'm going to segue. Stick with me here, listeners. I'm going to segue from the supernatural guy being sent down to hell to a lot of the news stories that have been coming out this last week and a half about the Earth's core has not only slowed spinning, but it's now going to spin the other way. First of all, that's complete bullshit. This guy who wrote this article was basing it off of a paper that some scientists did that were just confirming what we've already known, which is that the Earth's core has stopped spinning faster than the Earth's surface since 2008. So we've known this now for, 14 years, 15 years, that the Earth's core, right. And now all of a sudden, so they extrapolate, well, it stopped spinning faster, so maybe it's going to reverse spin. It's not going to reverse spin. That's not how these things work. So that's the first thing I want to call bullshit to. The second thing is that the Earth, what we were taught in school is that the Earth is this perfect sphere, and it has these perfect spherical layers as you move down to the core. And the core is this perfect sphere of molten lava and rock and metals, heavy metals, but it's not. It's unevenly displaced. There are parts where the Earth's core is much closer to the surface than other areas, and where the mantle actually descends much further. So it's not this perfect sphere. It more looks like a ball with all these crazy arms reaching off of it. And the arms go into like giant continent sized lava fields. So it's not spherical. It's not perfectly centrifugal as we're spinning. So things are going to happen every once in a while when that uneven weight gets distributed a certain way. So it's not going to spin the opposite way. And we also have to realize things are not going to always be the way they are today because we're not perfectly spherical. So go out and research that and look at what the actual core looks like, because it'll kind of actually blow your mind, because we have some really big, what they call LSSVPs, which are these, low velocity places where the core meets the mantle. And there's a lot of slippage that goes on there, which is why we have the whole ring of fire and everything around the Pacific. So go look it up, go research it. Yeah.
Plate tectonics.
Exactly. So
This was such clickbait. This was such clickbait.
Totally was.
And that's why we dropped it from and I'm glad you're bringing it up, because it's a perfect example of don't believe everything you hear or read, or, do a little bit of research. After I think this might have been the story that pissed me off the most, which is really selfish, but it was clickbait. It was absolute clickbait, and fuck CNN for actually putting this out. If it's almost like we want to go along with what was in our 1985 Houghton Mifflin science book. And because the easiest way to understand anything was say, well, it's, each layer of the Earth is perfectly symmetrical and it's all, this is how it looks. It's not how it works. It just pissed me off. So I'm sorry. You're absolutely right. I'm glad you brought that up, but that pissed me off. So.
Yeah, me too. Again, it's not a thing of like, oh, we know too much. And no, it's just like, we know enough to realize that these clickbait, that's a great way to put it. These clickbait articles just want you to get on there and be like, oh my God, the Earth's going to stop spinning and go the other way. Yeah, no, exactly. It's not. We have records of these things and how they go. It's not going to happen that way. It's going to happen a much different way. So just disregard any of these articles you've seen or will see, because they wanted to make a huge mountain out of a tiny little molehill, and it's ridiculous.
Agreed. Hefe, you are back for round 3.
Woo!
I am?
I fucking love it. You are. I think this is round 3, isn't it?
No, it's round 2.
Is it round 2? Okay.
You and I had a pre-round.
A pre-show round. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hefe.
But I could be back.
You know what? We've had a really deep show tonight. I can't wait for you to listen to it. Have you ever lit yourself on fire?
don't think so.
Okay, that's all right.
Wow.
All right. Have you had a stroke yet?
So literally, McShane and I are the only ones that light each other on fire. Okay. Anyway, yeah, stroke.
Out of the three of us, you two are the only two.
Yeah.
Damn it.
It's stroke season. Have you had a stroke?
No, I'm waiting until they go on sale at the end. Black Friday Stroke Day.
Awesome. I love that. Okay. Have you been to any men's houses while they were in their underwear drinking a highball with a hammer?
I'm going to say no comment on that.
Okay. Fair enough. Where else do we want to go here, Fitz? Were you beaten up by Buzz Aldrin?
Not recently, no.
Okay. All right. Well, he's 93 now, and he's an absolute badass. We should put him in the Hall of Fame just for kicks.
He's yeah.
I mean,
that little bit that confronted him, that was so good.
Oh yeah. I mean, and I will say the solid right hook connected. The dude didn't fall down, so at least he can take a punch, at least one from a 93-year-old. Hefe, I'm not going to give away too much because I guess I don't remember you being there, so I don't think you were there. But the party when we were seniors, I went to with our kind of brand new volleyball friends from Saguaro and Chaparral. I don't think you were there that night when I lit myself on fire with Everclear.
Yeah, you did that outside our house once.
That was
okay. All right, well, I did it once too. Derek definitely did it, but I also did it. Derek did it skateboarding.
Yeah, we were back there in that little nook behind, like where your bedroom was, backyard.
Yeah, where I threw up.
Yeah. Where your aunt used to always force herself to throw up before she went driving home.
Yep, that's right.
That was her
and
spot.
thank you for holding her hair, by the way.
Ted did it most of the time.
Oh, was it? Oh, I thought it was you. Okay.
No,
yep.
He might have had an unhealthy infatuation with throw up.
Yeah, that was a weird thing. I don't really want to go there tonight, but probably someday we will. No. This was a separate thing. This was the night I learned how to set myself on fire safely. And you weren't there.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, you'll listen to the show. You'll hear the story. Our mutual friend, his son, was there that night. And yeah.
The one I got away.
That's kind of how I got invited to the party, but also through our friends that we met through the volleyball tournament that we did that year. Between all the high school teams, and we won. Which I know I keep saying that, but it's kind of a point of pride for Arcadia. We won. Yeah.
Let's get into cool shit real quick because we're up against it.
Fitz, let's do it.
You delivered us High Ren, and I kind of picked this out because it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is your cool shit. If it's not,
oh no,
please.
no, 100%. That's why I sent it to you guys. Yeah,
tell
100%.
us about High Ren.
All right, so High Ren. High is the name of the song. Ren is the name of the artist. So I guess the name of the song is High Ren, but Ren is the name of the artist. He does a lot of really amazing stuff. If you go and look up his stuff on YouTube or even Spotify, he's a very, very unique artist. I will say that this song, this video even, was kind of the pinnacle of everything he's done, because it is an absolute argument between, he sings the song as an argument between the devil on his shoulder and the angel on his shoulder. Or maybe more to the point, the devil on his shoulder and then who he wants to be. But he can't deny that the devil is there and has gotten him where he is now and has survived all the shit. And this guy's been through some shit. He's had autoimmune stuff. He's gone through, major psychosis. He's been in mental health hospitals. If you go look him up, he's been through it. And so this song is just kind of a journey through that. And it's a 9-minute video, over 9 minutes. And so he kind of takes you through the whole journey, and the lyrics, the guitar playing, the different stages he takes you through, the different moods he brings you to. it's just it's unlike anything I've ever seen. And I had to share it, but it's also definitely my cool shit for this week. Go check out Ren. You know, he even says it in this song. He doesn't want to win a Grammy. He doesn't want to be, have 5 million views. He just wants to go out, and if he makes a difference for one person, it's enough. And this song really illustrates that. And if you really want to dive deep into it, go look at the comments after the song. He really touched some people and really gave them a lot of strength. And I'm all about that. It's just really powerful stuff. So go check it out. I promise you won't be disappointed. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. Everybody I've shown it to has just been in awe. So go out, check out Ren, specifically Hi Ren. It was just a great experience.
Well,
Right hooks for the radio, they never even play me, so why would I concern myself with that? But my music is really connecting, and the people who find it respect it. And for me that's enough, cause this life's been tough, so it gives me a purpose I can rest in. Man, you sound so pretentious, Ren, your music is so self-centered. No one wants to hear another song about how much you hate yourself, trust me. You should be so lucky, having me inside you to guide you, remind you to manage expectations, provide you perspective. That thing you neglected, I get it. You wanna be a big deal, next Jimi Hendrix, forget it. Man, it's not like that. Man, it's just like that. I'm inside you, you twat. No, it's not, man, you're wrong. When I write, I belong. Let me break the fourth wall by acknowledging this song.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's so good. So good.
So thank you very much for posting that. Jeff, I think I cut you off there. What were you going to say?
Oh, I don't know.
All right. Well, my cool shit really pales in comparison, but I highly suggest you go out to river-runner-
No. Don't say that, dude. This was so cool. I geeked out on this for hours. I loved this shit. This is awesome.
So this is a map, and we do dig our maps. You could tap anywhere on the globe. Jeff, give me a point on the globe. Anywhere.
Point on the globe, Hancock, New York.
Hancock, New York. All right.
Excellent.
Hancock, New. There we go.
There it is.
Yep. Hefe's home.
Good enough.
Old Hefe's home.
All right. So the whole idea of this River Runner map is that it is going to go ahead and give you, wherever you drop on the map, your point, it's going to tell you exactly where that drop of water, how it will run, okay, where it's going to go. And then it takes you on a journey of where this, of how it's going to get from point A to point B.
Yes.
Now we're watching this, it's going through tributaries. It's going through the map.
3D map
Yeah.
of, you're like flying over with a drone, watching this drop of water make its way to wherever its destination is. It's fucking amazing.
It really is cool.
And I'm sorry, Hefe, it looks like you started in Hancock, New York. Looks like you have to go through Jersey. So I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
it's
guess ahead of my uncle.
it's going to be a polluted raindrop at this point.
Yeah,
Right. But anyway, it's a really, really great, it gives you a good understanding of height, how water works. You can put this on any place on the map. I guess probably a really great goal would be to see how high you can put the raindrop up in the map to see it actually get down to an actual ocean.
Right.
Yeah, that was actually a really good one, Jeff.
Yeah, that was.
Really
Because I started mine in Eugene, and it ran into the Willamette, which then ran into eventually the Columbia, and then out to the Pacific. So I was like, well, okay, but where does it start from above Eugene? So I went up into the mountains, and it actually starts higher than that up into Eastern Oregon. So yeah, you could definitely, exactly what you were saying, McShane, you could definitely kind of start to trace where all the birth of these rivers, these streams, these outlets start, and really follow the whole path. It was really a really cool website to play with.
Really good. Really, really was.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sam Lerner for putting that visualization together. riverrunnerglobal.samlerner.com. So go check it out. It'll be in show notes. I highly suggest you guys go check it out.
I got to go.
All right, Hefe.
All right, brother.
Thanks for jumping in, man.
Yeah, man. Have a
All
good
right.
night.
See you guys later.
Fitz, what beer are you taking to bed?
Wow.
Actually, wait.
Tonight.
Let's go to break.
Okay.
And then
All
we'll
right.
come back, and then
Okay.
we'll see what we're going for beers. All right.
All right.
All right, let's go and throw out the sponsors real quick, and we'll wrap up things shortly. All right. Fitz, what beer are you taking to bed?
Okay. So you gave me a couple of minutes to think about it while we listen to our amazing sponsors. I'm gonna I have to go with Black Daruma.
Awesome.
Just because of all the reasons I mentioned earlier in the show, the Asian influence, the history behind the Daruma little figurines, completing a task, burning the task, and letting it go out into the ether. All those things are encapsulated into this beer. Plus, it was a really solid fucking beer. These girls really know what they're doing. Sorry, women of brewery. They know what they're doing. They did a fantastic job of making this Imperial Stout. Excellent job. Please, ladies, if you're out there, and we're gonna somehow hashtag you or mention you so that you can listen to this show and understand how much I appreciated your beer. The other beer I had, the Logsdon Forager, great beer. I have nothing to take away from it. Little bit unusual as far as a porter goes, but I enjoyed the unusual about it. I just have to go with the Daruma. It's a superior beer. It's just they really fucking nailed it. So that's what I'm going to bed with, and it has nothing to do with the fact that they're all beautifully gorgeous women. What about you? What are you taking to bed?
You need to go to their website, and you need to go ahead and send them a message. They've got a little message thing in here.
I think I will. Yeah. No, we definitely have to. It's so unique what they're doing, and we're definitely going to reach out.
Yep.
Moshi for sure.
Lots of woman power there. Love it.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm taking the Knights of Windsor Fruity Pebbles to bed.
Really?
It's complex. It's fun. It's a very enjoyable beer. I have two more wee heavies that I'm gonna have this week. It's definitely punched me in the mouth. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm definitely feeling it. But it was a pleasant beer. It was tasty. It warmed up nicely. It held on to the fruity notes. It never got. Sometimes when you're drinking a wee heavy, it kind of gets a little too warm, and almost gets a little rough. It never got that way. It was a very smooth drink, very, very easy beer, deceptively easy. Like somebody might actually think they could have two or three these in one night, and you're going to the hospital. So
yeah, you said it was a 13.8. Is that what it was?
Yeah. This was 13.8.
Yeah. So I mean, definitely use caution with this. I really so the booziness of it was definitely subdued or.
Oh no! This was all about the beer. It was not boozy. Yeah. It was not boozy at all.
I love that.
It was almost. It was very candy-like. Only it was a very, as far as a beer that was, it was textually strong. It had all the profiles of a Scotch, wee heavy.
Yeah,
and it was fun. It really was fun. All things that you really want in a beer. Like I said, a lot of wee heavies, they've got that sweetness to them and that rich flavor, that maltiness, and then it punches you in the face. Nah, this was fun. This was a really fun beer.
And just to clarify, I feel like there's probably some listeners out there who are like, why does he keep saying wee heavy? That's an actual style of beer. It's a Scottish wee heavy.
Scotch wee heavy. Yeah.
It's like a barley wine, American barley wine, American strong, but the Scottish did it first and they did it better, and they called it a wee heavy. And I really appreciate the Scots for just being like, what's that beer? Oh, it's a wee heavy. Like they just called it what it was and off you go. But that's an actual style of beer. And if you've never had the pleasure of enjoying a wee heavy, both McShane and I encourage you to do so. It's an incredible style of beer. It's an incredible sort of family of beers that you can get into. And as illustrated tonight, you can do a lot of stuff with the wee heavy. You can make it taste like Fruity Pebbles. You could probably make it taste like dirt if you wanted to, but they don't. They make them all pretty delicious. So, expand your horizons, go out there and try some new stuff. I'm really glad you had that beer. I'm really glad that you enjoyed it, because I was a little bit, when you first had that first sip, I thought, you might not get into this, but I'm glad it's doing you good.
Like I said earlier, it's the wee heavies are never my first choice. I like them occasionally, and I probably wouldn't go back and have another one of these because, again, they're never my first choice. But it's probably one of the best wee heavies that I've had. Now, just to kind of explain a little bit more to you. So your Scottish ales, they're traditionally brewed in Scotland and were either light, heavy, wee heavy, or I'm sorry, export or wee heavy. Wee heavy is over 6%. So this, obviously 13.8, it's over
Double
6%.
That? Yeah.
Now, it's like it's more of an American interpretation, and it has a lot of features that are very Belgian-like, so you get a lot more sweetness, but not really to the point where you're getting a lot of the Belgian banana-type yeast that goes along with it.
Right.
So I don't want to get too dorky with it, but that's kind of what the range is, and why it's called a wee heavy. It puts it over all the others, and so it's gonna be dark brown, and it's just a very rich beer. So I'm gonna put that in show notes if anybody wants to read about it.
Yep. And go look up the Daruma dolls. You may want to incorporate that kind of thing into your own life, because they're a really cathartic, goal-oriented way to, set some goals in your life. And then when you accomplish them, you get to paint that other eye and then burn the fucking thing, and then it's gone. And then you move on to the next goal. It's a really kind of a very Japanese way to do things. And, they've got some things that they do that are pretty incredible. So I love it. And so, yeah, go out and do your research, find things that jive with you and the way you want to live your life, beers that jive with the way you want to live your life, and drink up, man. Life's too short. So have a drink.
I'm Steve McShane.
I'm Fitz.
We appreciate you listening, and we will talk to you soon.